All right. LDBC. This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison. You're live on the Coach Shelton Harrison Combat Sports Show Live. Okay, guys. Everybody know about the civil suit between Leslie Smith and the UFC. And Leslie Smith is about to file one. I mean, she is. She about to file one. And, I think Leslie and her team, I think they watch these videos. And I'm going to tell you why I think they watch these videos. Because I just said it. I put out a video. And I'm not being arrogant. Because I was still... Even if I had 1 million subs, I kick it with everybody that I kick it with on live stream. No, that's not it. But, I swear, y'all, I just put out a video saying why I think Leslie Smith can win a civil suit. Why I think that she should file a lawsuit based on discrimination. Not because of race and sex, but, because of her freedoms. The freedoms that's in the laws, and I think that her freedom of speech in some point in case have been violated. Now, I've actually filed 2 lawsuits in my lifetime, and I won them both. I won all 2 of the lawsuits that I filed. And the first lawsuit, I really had a case, and I knew I was going to win that one. The second one, I didn't know if I was going to win it. Because what the company did to me, it was so, it was very, very, very minute, okay? It was extremely minute. But it was so minute to the point that I still won. And, it was a guy following me around Publix. He was following me around the Publix because I had my phone out. And he thought that I was actually taking videos of products, which was stupid because it was like a dozen other people in that store who had cameras out that was actually, they had their phones out, and I had my phone out and I was watching videos. But, I won that lawsuit. Got a nice little, pretty penny. Oh, yeah. But to win a lawsuit, most of the time, you can win those. If you got, some kind of thing behind you where your rights are being violated, you'll win. I'm telling you point blank. But, and I think that if she is filing one, I think she could probably win. Even no matter how minute this is. See, here go the thing, man. The problem with this thing that Leslie's doing is nobody's backing her. Okay, that's the one thing. I mean, you got the idiot of all idiots in Brendan Schaub, Mr., I want to criticize all black panel, but, we're not going to talk about that right now. We'll let that go. But, and my question to Brendan is, you idiot, would you support her if you was in the UFC? I mean, would you literally support her? Okay, if you were still fighting, would you support her? And, the answer to that probably, it might be no. A lot of fighters ain't going to do it. The reason why they're not going to do it is because, these fighters are at risk of putting their livelihood in jeopardy. And, a lot of fighters, they live in paycheck to paycheck, so they can't afford to just, go into a union. And I know that's sad. I know a lot of fighters ought to be in support of a fighters union, okay? Because you could actually, the deals can be worked out better. There are a lot of different things that they can get. But the sad thing of it is that a lot of fighters are not going to support this because they ain't trying to lose their livelihood. And then too, it's more of a benefit for Leslie. It's not more of a benefit for the fighters. And I'm going to explain. It's more of a benefit for Leslie because there's an organization that Leslie is starting. And so Leslie would actually be the chief operating officer of this organization, and most of the benefits would probably go to her. I mean, that's just how it is. Okay? I don't think Leslie, and I think if she talking unions, I don't really think that a lot of organizations are gonna, try to hit it. I don't know. Or if she signed a contract, they're gonna make her sign a contract saying, listen, you got to promise not to unionize. And I guarantee you they're gonna put that in any contract she signed, if Bellator take her or if Invicta. And I think Invicta is a subsidiary of the UFC, so that might not happen. So now you got, you have Bellator and you got, LFA. And I can tell you, they probably won't, take Leslie Smith unless she signs an agreement in a contract to where she promises that she won't unionize. See, I'm going to tell you, man, it's kind of like one of them things that Leslie Smith, she should have kept quiet about for a long time until all the pieces and all the ducks got lined up. Should have kept it quiet. Because when you go parading that, now you got everybody and the owners of the UFC trying to figure out how to get you out of there. And trust me, they did it. They got Leslie Smith the hell out of there. They got her out of there quick, too. And I'm sitting there wondering, like, man, I was wondering when they were going to get rid of her, man. I was wondering when, but, they finally, got around to doing it. And they found the most opportune time. They did it. They waited till her contract expired, and they had in their mind that, nope, we're not renewing her contract. And see, too, it's kind of bad, too, for Leslie because, she's 10-7. Now, her last 2 wins were very impressive. She beat Irene Aldana, and she also beat Amanda Lemos, which, those are 2 quality wins. However, she's 10-7. If, she was running around here and she was a 15-2, okay, now, the UFC would probably have a time cutting her because she'd actually be marketable. But because, she's 10-7, she's not very marketable, She's not. She's a good fighter. She's a very good fighter. And she's been very successful in the UFC. But she's not marketable. You know, and Leslie will tell you, well, it's because I don't look good, I'm not attractive. It's not even it. I mean, I'll be honest, people might think I'm crazy. I don't even find Leslie highly unattractive. I mean, I don't think it's her looks. I don't think Leslie market herself as a beauty queen. Leslie is a fighter. And that's what they're supposed to be. Fighters. They're not supposed to be beauty queens. They're not supposed to be, who look the best. They're fighters. And Leslie, don't care how she look. Leslie just worries about going in at a fight. That's her thing. And, guys, that's how it need to be. But unfortunately, since this is the age of social media, this is the age of visualization, this is the age of everything where, people are looking at what you look like. And also, too, you got to be able to bang. But I got to tell you, if they made Ronda Rousey into, I don't know, if Dana White somehow convinced the public that Ronda Rousey was eye candy, I mean, God dog, he could have did something with Leslie Smith then, That's just how that is. That's just the way that is. That's just the way that is. But, no fighter, though, they're not going to come out, they're not going to support, man, because a lot of these fighters, and you got your young fighters that just got into the UFC, they not supporting that. It's been their dream. It's been their dream to sign a UFC contract, and they like, I'm not signing that. Are you crazy? Do you really think that I'm going to sign a UFC contract and I just got on, and then I'm going to be a part of a union that, I might even get out of they can let me out of my contract? Nope. That's going to be an H to the no. That's just the way that is. That's just how that is. That's just the way that is. And yeah, how you going to explain that? I would ask them, Leslie's winning. She's a tough form of a fighter. But, they don't want to deal with the headache of trying to deal with a union. And they got up out of there. If Leslie wanted this thing to be successful, man, Leslie should have kept her mouth shut. And she should have worked on it behind the scenes. And then when it was ready to launch, that's when she would have did it. See, Leslie should have kept her mouth shut till she signed a whole nother contract. That's what I would have did. I would have renegotiated my contract. I would have been working on my fighters union behind the scenes. Because, you got to think, man, Leslie probably only had, if she renegotiated a contract after this term, Leslie probably would have had 3 or 4 more fights left. And then Leslie would have been retired. It would have been the perfect time. Because then while she's in her retirement, part of her contract, guess what? What they going to do? Let her out? And I would have launched it my very last fight. I would have just launched it. And if they would have let me out of my contract, okay, well, fine. I ain't got to take no unnecessary damage. I'm retired with one peace of mind. See, somebody didn't advise Leslie Smith right. Somebody did. If it was me, I swear some of these fighters, man, they need to call me. Like, they really need to get up with me, because I tell them, look, this is what you say. This is what you do. I done dealt with this before. When you're doing something and about this lawsuit, she better shut up about this too. Don't give the UFC any ammunition. If you're going to sue them, don't tell them what you're doing. Don't put it out there. Do it behind closed doors, because anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. These fighters need to be calling me, because I would have like, listen, look, as your advisor, you do this fighters union behind the scene, but the UFC, they might let you out your contract. They'll blackball you. But that's okay. That's okay, because you only got 1 more term left, 3 or 4 more fights, and then, we're going to get you out of there. But behind the scenes, Leslie, let's work on this fighters union. And then when you get out, you'll have your nice little cushy job when you leave the UFC. Leslie, that's what you need to do. But no, didn't nobody advise her right, man. Whoever advises is, they suck. That's what I would have told her. Because not only would she have had, her fight money, her purse money, to go along with her retirement, but then, the fighters union could have been getting up and off the ground. She'd have been getting out of there. But, there was no way that the UFC was going to allow her to hang around and make a fighters union right up under their nose without getting out of it. They just wasn't going to do that. They was going to find a way to get up out of there. Now, it's not like she can't still make a fighters union. She can. She can still do it. Okay? And she can, hold the UFC accountable. They can do that. And I think Leslie Smith got the brains and she got the energy to do it. And I think she'll do a good job at it. Also Leslie does some commentating on the side too for Invicta. So, it's kind of like, yeah, she has a lot going on. But this lawsuit, if I'm Leslie Smith advisor, shut up, okay? Stop talking to the news media about it. Just shut up, okay? Go on and get this thing done, okay? If you're going to sue them, sue them. Don't tell them any other information, okay? Don't do anything. Because, the UFC, they're going to have people, coming out to watch you. They might even have somebody come to you to try to settle out of court. And if somebody coming to settle with you out of court, that means you're going to get a whole lot more money. Like, when I had my first lawsuit, I had a representative from that company. They came to try to settle with me out of court. I said, nah. And I got 3 times as much I got 3 times as much money when I went to court. So Leslie just need to shut up, okay? Just go ahead, get this thing going, get the lawsuit going. Now get the federal. And you know, if I'm Leslie, I'd be like, nope, I'm gonna stop this fighters union. I'm gonna stop it. And then, you know, join another organization. And then if she do that and she want to start it back, wait till it's her last couple of fights to really finalize everything, because then she out of there. But, you know, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. You guys tell me what you think about, you know, Leslie filing this lawsuit. This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harris. Thumb down. What are you waiting on? Subscribe to the best women's MMA platform on YouTube.